Hello, ladies. Welcome to yet another Confidence Leads to Success interview series. Today, I have got beautiful Cristina Bold here. She is very inspirational. I have been following her very closely for the last 12 months, and I find her very inspiring. She has changed her corporate executive position, working with biggest European and global brands to become a money mindset mentor to help visionary, heart-centered women entrepreneurs to own their power and grow their wealth from space of ease, alignment to soul and inspiration. And it really inspired me to see these when I followed her. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if she was on this platform and giving us her wisdom and her knowledge to help us to have that alignment and have that ease whilst we're living our dream. Hello, Cristina, welcome.
Elif, thank you so much for having me.
It is so good to have you here. And I really like watching you, and your imagery is so good. Do you use a photographer? Please tell me.
The photographer is usually my husband, and he's getting better and better. I have to give him all the appreciation.
Oh, that is so good. I love all these photos. He definitely gets the light. I mean, whether you tell him how to put the camera, but the photographs are always so good, and it definitely reflects your mission and how bright you are.
Thank you so much.
I love it. So I'd like to ask you, I know you help and mentor a lot of coaches and mentors to change the way they see money, and you help them with their businesses. What do you mean by like soul aligned business?
That's a good question. Nobody asked me this question until now. And we are using this term soul alignment and alignment. It's such a common term, right? That we are hearing everywhere. But I get a sense that people don't really have an actual understanding what soul alignment is. And for me, alignment itself is we have our desires, and then we have our actions, and then we have our emotions. And I feel that when all these are on the same energetic string, that is alignment, right? So we are bringing ourselves on the same energetic string with our desires based on our emotions and on our actions. And extending that to soul alignment, we are speaking about soul desires, like not only superficial desires, right? That are, I want this or I want that, but then they are just surface based. We are speaking about soul desires that come from our core, and we just know that they are so right for us once we get it and turn them into reality. So that is for me soul alignment, allowing people to get into that energetic alignment between their desires, actions, and emotions.
I love that. So, because when you talk about success with a lot of the business people and business coaches, it's all about having those shiny object titus, you know. You have the shiny objects, and that's what you get attracted to. But what you are saying is really you want to go into your core and work with your soul and find alignment with your business. So how could one do that? I know it would take a few weeks for us to talk about it, but if there was one tip that you could give someone to really, really get into their soul to find that alignment with their brand, what do you think that would be?
Hmm. I think that the best way to discern between whether a desire is just a superficial desire or is a soul desire is to see what is the motivation for it. Because everything that we are doing or wanting or longing for in order to prove ourselves to others, in order to, catch up with others, in order even to prove ourselves to ourselves, it's not really a soul desire. Soul desires usually are coming with a motivation that is much bigger than our needs. It's something that expands us, and usually it goes much beyond us, and it just feels so right. It's just why you want it, because you literally feel it in your body at a physical level. I just desire it, that I just want it, I feel it in my core. That is the soul desire.
So you feel right when you're doing whatever the action is, basically.
Yeah, and exactly. And it doesn't have an exterior driver or exterior motivation, like I'm doing this in order to show others that I can do it, or to prove to my mom, or to prove myself to my father, or to show
It's not for
myself.
validation, basically.
It's not for validation, not even for self-validation. Exactly. It's because by itself, it's a driving force.
Amazing. Love it. Love it. Okay. I know you are also on a mission for women empowerment, and you want to help women to really go for their dreams, and a manifestation is one of your passion. So how could what would be your gift for our listeners to manifest the right things for them? You kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what I know, a lot of people seem to be inspired by others, but they seem to compare each other with the others, and especially with the materialistic things.
Not sure I'm getting your question.
What do you think the
Or...
problem when it comes to entrepreneurs, when it comes to wanting what they want? Because most of them are just doing but not being. So my question is, how could they kind of identify their desires from expectations of others?
I think it's a process, really. I truly believe that very few of us just walk in life with the knowing, just, from the start, like, this is who I am, and this is who I'm supposed to be in this world, and this is what I'm supposed to go after. I think that for most of us, the humans, is just a discovery process of peeling off layers of conditioning, layers of beliefs, of limitations that we just inherited consciously and mostly unconsciously, and understanding how little by little we get in contact with our core, with our desires, with who we are, and where we are supposed to be going. So I think it's more of a process of being available to sit in silence with ourselves and to ask ourselves some questions, maybe, if not daily, which is ideal, regularly, questions around, what do I truly want, and what do I fear that what is between me and that want. And like this, we are also starting to look at the limitations, and why do I want what I want? Like, what would that impact? Who would that impact? How would that impact my life? How would that impact the life of other people, my community? How would that impact the world at large, or in a bigger way? I believe it's really a constant process of questioning ourselves, and in time I also know that the answers will evolve. Like, I have this image that we are always on a journey that doesn't really have an end until it gets to the end, right? The human end, because then there are other probably stages, but this human journey is a journey of constant evolution, right? So as we are constantly evolving, also our depth in how we are perceiving the world, how we are perceiving our purpose, how we are perceiving our mission and our message will be evolving. That's why I believe that it has to be a constant inner questioning, not in the sense of doubt, but in the sense of digging and exploring what is coming up, and we will be getting different answers as we are evolving.
Love that. So what made you decide to do this? What happened that one day you decided, I'm going to help these women? What was that?
Well, I wish I had a heroine story to tell you, but it was nothing very brave, in the sense that as you mentioned in the beginning, I used to be a corporate person. I worked in banks for many, many, many years. And then, it was the story of girl meets boy and they fall in love. And unfortunately, the boy was not from the same country with the girl. So we had to have a hard look at what do we want to do if we want to allow this relationship to work. And we decided that I will be moving here, where I am based today in Portugal. Just that the move happened somewhere in 2009 when it was a fully blown crisis, and
right.
there was no opportunity for a foreigner like me in order to find the same kind of work and in the same kind of work line and at the same level as I was used to play at in my previous corporate job. So I found myself really in a huge identity crisis because I was in a foreign country. I didn't speak the language. I couldn't find a job, and I had lost everything I used to define myself by. So it was, for me, that was probably some would define it as a dark night of the soul. It was really like falling and losing everything in order to find yourself. And in that journey, I decided, what if there is all the doors that I'm knocking in order to try to restore my corporate life. But I was also not very eager to return. So I was knocking, but hoping nobody will answer this door. So I took it as a sign that probably it's time for me to do something that I had been dreaming of for a long time. And my dream was to be a healer. And that was a hard pill to take for a former corporate person, because how do you switch your mind from I am this corporate lady, a director in banks, and then I'm presenting myself. So what have you been doing? Well, right now I am a healer. Healer of what?
Healer of soul.
Of the soul of the people. Like, what are you doing? Well, I'm healing. So it was very, very difficult for me to make this change in my identity. And it was also very difficult for me to identify myself as a business owner. I think that this was probably the hardest thing given. But little by little, with small steps, I created this business. Someone told me, you are not a coach? You could be a coach. And I was like, what is a coach? And then I started, then maybe I should, have some coaching business. So then, I signed up for a coaching certification and for a coaching school and went through this intensive training. And then I started this business, and then I couldn't, identify myself with being the business owner and charging people for something that it was like, how can you charge for just talking to people? So it was a process. And I know that there are people who are making money like right off the gate, but that was definitely not my case. I really had a hard time identifying myself with the work. I had a hard time identifying myself with being the person who is charging for this kind of work. And it took me a whole year to even start making any money. And that's why I got so obsessed with the work that I am now sharing with the world, because it was through this work that actually I gave my business a chance.
Beautiful. Your story really I resonate with, because I'm Turkish, and when I arrived here in the UK, I couldn't speak a word of English. I had no family, no friends. I know exactly what you've been through. Didn't have anyone to keep me under their wing, that I could go knock the door when I needed. And again, I didn't think my education and my diploma, my business degree would be recognized here in the UK, so I didn't even dare to go and apply for jobs, knowing that nobody would hire me because I couldn't speak English. I didn't have the education that I supposed to have, and then I just found myself running my own business, become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, what do you do when you don't get hired? You open your own store, right? Your own shop.
Yeah, so I just thought if this is the way entrepreneurship, I always say it's not a word, it's a sentence, it's a journey. It's a sentence that you keep on going, you keep on working, and it's a kind of responsibility that you keep on going till you find the right way, and there is never an end, like you said. You just keep on going. It's just like being on a bike. You keep cycling. If you stop, you fall. You say keep going.
Yeah, and at the same time, this is the beauty of it all, because I feel with a job, with a normal traditional job, everything is kept, everything is regulated. Things are obviously much safer. You know exactly what to count on, what are the stages, how high probably you can go, and when it ends. So it has a beginning, it has a end, it has a middle, and you know exactly more or less what to expect in this entire journey. I feel that the beauty of this entrepreneurial journey is that there are no limits, there are no caps, there is no end. You just know when you began, but then you have no idea beyond your desires and your visions around exactly where the journey will be taking you. And I feel that it's such a beautiful self-discovery, self-growth journey. I keep saying this is probably the biggest self-growth journey I've ever taken in my entire life. And yeah, I can't imagine how I don't want to imagine how my life would be right now if I hadn't made this step.
Exactly. And not only you helped yourself to find your own voice and your financial freedom, you are actually now helping so many people. You have so many students you are helping. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what kind of programs do you offer? What kind of help do you do for your students?
Yeah, sure. So based on my obsession, I started out as being a money mindset mentor because I was obsessed with how do good-hearted, heart-centered women entrepreneur start making money and turning their businesses, all business into profitable businesses also for themselves and also for the rest of the world in order to be able to impact more. And I got so obsessed with that that I really turned that into work, into my life's work, sharing everything that I've shifted, everything I've discovered, everything that took me further also with other women. So my flagship is money mindset work. But then in time, as I grew my business to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, I started also realizing that I was sharing with my clients much beyond the money mindset work. I was sharing how to create a business from a holistic point of view, with the practical part, with the mindset part, and with the energetic part. So as we were saying, then the vision develops and expands. And I created then more programs also for supporting specifically the business growth, like programs around launching, programs around selling, programs around branding,
Amazing.
programs around manifestation. So I feel that it's the way I am sharing my work with my clients is giving them the possibility to plug into a very holistic approach that brings together the practical, the mindset, and the energetic part of being on this journey and expanding from the soul alignment, expanding the business, expanding the impact, and expanding our beingness that in the end creates the entire impact.
I
And
love it. It all begins with believing in yourself that you can have it. Whatever you believe that your soul desires and you want, you can do it. But having someone on your corner like you to actually guide you through it, it is so inspiring.
Yes, I believe that we all deserve to be held. I have my own mentors, and we have a common mentor, right?
We have, yeah.
I have my own mentors. I am giving myself permission to be held, and I've been giving myself permission to be held for years now in different containers and
That's right.
witnessed and supported and inspired and stretched and triggered and activated and all the things, because I feel that we can definitely take this journey alone, but it's a much slower journey and a much more wobbly journey and a harder journey. And after trying to do this on my own in the first year, as I was saying, I decided that I deserve more. I deserve better.
Okay. We are
And
forever teachers, forever students, Cristina.
yes, I am offering my clients exactly what I am doing for myself also. Like, I am walking my own talk. I am speaking about being supported and calibrating to higher ways of being and doing the things in this world, and I am doing this myself for myself. So
Exactly.
I believe we need always to be obviously in integrity. But there was something that I wanted to mention related to what you said, that everything starts from confidence. And if we believe in ourselves, we can have it. And that is so true. With a caveat, I believe that many people are waiting for the confidence to show up before doing the things. And there is something that I've discovered in this journey, and that thing is that confidence also comes from action. Like, the more action you take and you start seeing results, the more you are building your confidence. So this is more to say people shouldn't wait for the confidence to just land.
It doesn't come like that, does it?
We have to move. We have to move. We have to move physically, energetically, physically meaning through our actions, energetically through our inner work, through our mindset work. And that's how confidence is being built up in time and expands.
It is so true. I love that you say that because, I mean, I would like to share these with all my listeners. When I first organized one of these virtual interview series, I was so nervous. I couldn't, my voice has got peaker like this, and I was so nervous. I didn't even put my camera in the right place. I was looking upwards like this. You could just see the top of my head. I was really, really nervous. But I didn't stop because I knew the more I did it, it would get better. And now I still feel nervous at times when I start talking because sometimes I forget the words, sometimes I forget the questions, sometimes I mix things and I open the wrong page because everybody knows entrepreneur means doing 5 things at the same time. As much as I suggest all my clients, myself as a fashion business coach, that try to focus and do one thing at a time, have lots of hats, but wear one hat at one time. But what happened is I just kept doing this. And I mean, you are probably my 45th person I'm interviewing in the last 12 months. And I've got better, and I know I will get even better. But what I did, I gave myself a chance. Just give yourself a chance because you can do it.
Yeah, and it's also, the more we practice, the more skilled we are, right? It's a muscle that we are training, and it's not only the skill itself, but I think that it's also the ability to hold both the fear that is inherent and will always be there, but also the desire to go after what you want to do.
Yeah.
I truly believe that most of the biggest speakers that we are looking up to, but based on what I'm reading, I'm watching as interviews with them, I never heard anyone to say, I'm never nervous. I'm entering on those stages in front of those thousands of people.
Yeah.
I am like an iron. I feel nothing. People are feeling nervous and they are feeling the adrenaline and they're feeling the anxiety, but then they are able to expand their ability to hold that and the excitement for what they are going to do and stand up for. So
exactly
that comes with practice also.
That's exactly it. So you're gonna have the fear and nervousness, but you will just do it anyway.
You'll just be able better, you will get it, we are all getting better at holding it and dealing with it.
Yeah. So you have been in coaching industry now, if we start from the first time you started healing, with what, since 2009?
Oh, no. So in 2000, I messed up the dates. So I met my husband in 2009. I came in Portugal in 2012. And then for a couple of years, I had a kid. So after coming here, shortly after, I got pregnant, and I really had a very tough pregnancy. I was not able to do anything during that time. So I just focused on the pregnancy and on the kid and on learning Portuguese and trying to find a job.
Yeah.
And then I tried more time to find a job. And then I think that officially I started my business somewhere in 2016. And as we were saying, the first year was a
Brilliant.
disaster.
You are doing so well, and I see you and I follow both your accounts, and they're so good, so inspirational, so informative. If ladies, if you're still here with us listening, you must follow Christina, because she has got great value, and she's so generous with her information, and you're sharing your wisdom. It's so good. This
Thank you
is
so
why
much.
I love having you here. It's so good to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
It is so good to have you here. So, and like being in business is hard enough, but you're also a mom and a wife. You're doing all of that. You're a superwoman.
In the beginning, things were much harder because I had only the support of my husband, which anyway, it's a huge unconditional support that I'm so grateful for. But in time, I have this saying, the better it gets, the better it gets. And it's not my saying. I think I heard it somewhere, and I loved it so much. And then I looked for evidence for it being true.
Yeah.
And it got to prove itself to be true, in the sense that the more we grow, the more we get to create a support system around us. In our businesses, we get to be supported. In our house, we get to be supported. We have a full-time nanny / housekeeper that is,
Yeah,
I'm so grateful for. So
of
we
course.
get to create these support systems around us, and we then get to scale up, right? And
And share your gift with more
it gets
people.
easier in time. I feel that I never felt my business harder than in the beginning. I never felt motherhood harder than in the beginning. I never felt, juggling all these balls at the same time than in the beginning. And then time passes and we grow, we get better at doing it, but at the same time, we get to bring in support. And I think that this is something that many women are struggling with. Like we have the impression that just because we can do it, we should be doing it. And that's not really the case. We shouldn't be doing everything that we can do, because we have our time and our energy so limited, and we can always find so much more efficiency and fulfillment in focusing on what we are actually here to do. That's
So
why I'm a big,
do you
big
have do you have that such great wisdom and golden nuggets you're sharing with so many entrepreneurs listening now? But do you have any kind of management, like time management tip that do you use yourself, or do you keep it all in your head? How do you manage your tasks? Because you have got, even though you have help, you're probably managing the help that you receive and your courses. When do you do your planning, and do you have kind of planning sheet, something that you follow?
well, I'm not that organized.
You look it.
No, in our family, my husband is really the planner and the organized one. I am more the flowing around. I on the other hand, I'm very, very obviously very serious around my commitments. So what I'm usually doing is I'm using the mornings for myself in order to do the work, the inner work, to put my energy straight in the right place. And then I enter a state of flow where I am just deciding what are the priorities for the day, what needs to be done during the day, what it's then great to have. So it's a different part of the priority list. What needs to be done, it's a must.
Yeah.
It must be done, right? Part of the list. And then there is a part of the list with this would be great to have done today also. So then I'm just flowing through my day, making sure that I am doing the must-haves. And if I can cover also that would be great to have, that's great. If not, I give myself some grace and move what is just optional on a next day list. I do make sure that I'm always keeping all my commitments. I'm obviously in my must-have list, and always serving my clients, my students in all my containers, talking to my team, sending my emails, and sharing my message for the day and selling something. These are the must-haves every day, and the rest, if it fits in, okay. If not, I also give myself permission to have the part of life that brings life that fills my cup, because in the end, that is also an investment in my business. Exactly. We don't realize that our aliveness, our energy, our excitement, our passion, our ability to be fully here, present and alive is what drives our business, is the engine.
Yeah, that's business. So true. You have to invest in you in order to really flourish. It's just like the car doesn't go without petrol, does it?
Yeah. But many women are just still into that paradigm of we need to work hard, we need to sacrifice ourselves, we need to prove ourselves. And I feel that they are missing the point. And this is actually very funny, because it's something that I'm going to share today and I'm going to talk about today. I feel that we are in an industry where we are selling aliveness. We are selling abundance. But if we are coming from scarcity, from need, from lack, not being fully alive, then there is no integrity between who we are being and what we are selling, and then there is no surprise that we are not getting the results that we want to get. So it's really, really important that we are the biggest representation of what we are selling, what we are preaching in this world. Like if we are preaching abundance, if we are preaching self-growth, if we are preaching expansion, fulfillment, then we should be our best client and the best embodiment of what we are talking about.
Love it. So true. Just be who you sell.
How else? But exactly. Actually, it's something that many people miss, and not willingly. We don't even realize that I'm pushing myself, and actually I'm creating all this, and we're trying to create it from scarcity. And then I'm wondering, I've been doing everything. What's wrong? What's missing? What am I missing? Well, you are missing your energy and your aliveness, and being the best testimonial for your work.
Lovely. That's such great tips, such great golden nuggets. Thank you, Cristina. I could talk to you for hours, but I know we both have commitments and children to look after. But it's been such an honor to have you, and I really appreciate you sparing this time for me and for my listeners to share your knowledge and your experience in life and sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my greatest pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Have a lovely day.